Peck Brothers, we've got a good one for you guys this week. We've been calling this thing the mini wrecker, but it can't be a wrecker with no boom, so that's what we're doing this week.
If you're new here, we're turning our Japanese truck into a full-blown off-road recovery rig. Last week, Caleb and I went and ripped an LS motor out of the junkyard, put it in the truck, kind of where it needs to go, and we had all sorts of issues bolting the transmission and transfer case up, wrong adapters, wrong input shaft, everything went wrong. So while we're waiting on parts for that, we figured this is a perfect week to get that boom done and mounted.
The other freaking awesome thing about this week is last weekend while I was editing the video, Brady was in the shop absolutely cranking it out. He built this big old huge workbench fab table absolute ding that's gonna raise productivity in this shop tenfold. Brady tossed casters on it and made all of the feet adjustable to level the whole thing. Totally fabbed from scratch the underneath supporting pieces. And this top is a 5x10 piece of 5/8 thick steel. This thing probably weighs more than my Jeep. It's gonna help us big time building that wrecker boom because we're gonna have a perfectly flat plane to work with.
These two goofs think I built that table for them, but really, I actually built it to fix the frame on my LJ. For everybody that's wondering, I'm up against a complete stop because one side of the frame rail, as I was welding it, just moved up just a little teeny bit, and it's off enough where it drives me crazy, and it just doesn't sit on the body doesn't sit on the frame very good. So I'm going to be able to straighten it out with this thing and keep progress going.
We are super passionate about our freedom and privacy around here, so knowing that our private information is out there for anyone to steal really grinds our gears. That's why this week's sponsor, Aura, is so important. Aura's VPN makes sure that no one is looking over our shoulder online. Aura acts like a digital defense so your private information isn't broadcast all over the internet. And a quick search of your name on Google will creep you right out. My app is showing me I've got 18 data brokers trying to sell my information. Aura will automatically submit removal requests to those brokers selling your personal information, and your chances of identity theft drop big time. Along with a huge list of features like VPN, antivirus, and password management, we get $1 million insurance policy for identity theft included with our membership. Aura is always working to keep our personal information safe so we can spend our time working on the mini truck and not dealing with identity fraud. The link is in our description for you to try Aura for free for 14 days to see how much of your information is getting sold. Thank you so much to Aura for supporting our channel and helping us bring this video to you guys. What we're running into with this is we want to mount the boom to the center chassis because it's gonna have to be super tough, but we want to make this flatbed removable in case we have to pull the cab, in case we have to get to the motor or whatever. The wrecker boom is gonna come through the flatbed somewhere in this area.
So you're telling me we're not just gonna bolt it to this?
No, that was my first thought. That was what we were thinking, but this whole thing is going to be able to pivot so it can go up and down. So it's gonna have to be on some sort of pivot system that will attach down to the frame rails somewhere in here. So to get started building that, we're gonna need to know exactly where this flatbed is going to sit. So this isn't mounted. We just built this thing and plopped it on here. So we've got to mount this flatbed before we can even start on the wrecker boom. Ray, that's heavier than I remember. Ray, grab this side. Ah!
Hold on, don't come over. It's kind of funny.
Oh. Alex has got a film. Oh. There we go.
Might need a day off after.
I know. So I'm thinking just a simple sort of like kind of side into here. We picked up some angle iron to attach it to the frame, but this thing's not really going to be holding a whole bunch of weight, so it really doesn't need to be anything like super substantial. Well, I say it's not going to be holding a bunch of weight, but who knows what we're going to put back here. To give a little bit of context to that, we're actually going to make the boom removable. Somehow. That way, when we want to put something huge back here, super heavy, we have the room. Yeah, pretty much we're mounting the bed.
So we're dealing with like 3 all not straight frames. So we got the bed's crooked, the frame's crooked, and the mini truck's crooked. And this side isn't touching.
There's nothing level about this whole thing.
We're gonna throw this bed on the new Dean table
That thing's perfectly flat.
and show you guys how bad we build
And
stuff.
if this isn't off, our power stroke frame is off because it lost like 16 cross members when we, you know, made it into the mini truck frame. Are you ready?
Dude, there's no way.
What do you mean?
There's no way. With this thing on there?
I'm pretty sure we lifted it on last time.
Well, I can do it. You can't.
I can do it.
We're worried about your side, Gabe.
Trust me.
Where are we going? Backwards and then
We're going
around?
onto the table.
Dude, you don't have. Why is Alex?
You're doing good, guys.
Oh, no.
You guys are doing good.
All right.
Ow! Slide anyway.
Wow.
Okay, hold it right there. Pretty far.
Hang on.
Okay, that's
good.
not bad.
So it is the freaking frame.
All right, we've got a story for you guys. A couple videos ago, we burned through some consumables on our Plaz that came across on the Mayflower. So I got on the internet, found some of these. They're actually the exact right ones, so I was pretty pumped about that. But I couldn't find the right cup tip thing. I don't even know what they're called. So we went to our local air gas, and he said, this is the closest one I can find. So I had to shave it down on the bandsaw.
You mean the belt sander? What an idiot!
Shaved it down like a ½ inch so it would fit. And now this all goes back together. And we're gonna see if it works. Because I hate the grinder. It sucks.
It's past my bedtime.
Oh.
I'm not going to bed until I see if his thing works here. The nice thing is, this thing's a thermodynamics, and for some reason, I don't know what age it is, but that thing works like a Dean when the consumables are right. That thing cuts.
And the best part about it is that we had a subscriber give it to us. So hopefully we can keep this puppy running, keep it in operation, and keep using it.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah, here's the moment of truth.
Here we go. Oh,
It just...
now nothing works. Okay, that was not the consumables. It's just broken.
I've had it.
A few moments later.
We might have a solution here, and I'll show you what's going on, but
Pure
the solution is pure redneck. So right here is the old one. This is the new one, and you can see this one's a little bit longer, which shouldn't be a problem. But this base right here is much bigger than this base. So when you put this one in the nozzle, it sinks clear to the bottom. When you put this one in the nozzle, it rides on a shoulder and it won't let it sink clear down into the nozzle. So what we need to do is take and turn this edge down on a lathe. But the problem is we don't have a lathe. In comes the Peck Brothers lathe. And this thing was also free.
Okay, this is how I got it set up. The tip is in the chuck. It's not tightened down too much, but just enough. I've got this as our stationary point, and I've got a sharp-edged...
What is
the
that?
sharpest screwdriver I've got that's kind of on an angle.
That looks more like a pry bar than a screwdriver.
And I'm going to hold it right here with my cheek, so when it catches that right there, it'll
Knock
take
your
my
teeth out.
head out. Yeah.
Hold on. Do we think that's the best idea or like a file?
Oh, I like the file.
Either one of them.
They're not made for it.
Okay, I found a file. Hit it. Oh,
Oh,
Hey,
look at that. Just for the craft, I want to see this thing work.
you gotta be in front of the. Like, point it more that.
ooh,
Oh!
Oh!
That's okay.
that might actually work out because the other one has a little bit smaller flange on it.
How did it come down?
Sometimes I don't know why that does that, but... Oh,
Hey,
freak.
dude!
Yeah, dude, it's dead on.
Is it?
Hey, there's our piece.
Dude.
Compare.
Other than this being chiseled up.
It's a lot longer.
Is it?
Well, actually, it's not that bad.
That's pretty close.
Dude,
think it'll work.
if this works, I'm gonna die.
Honestly, I hate to say it, but if we had a lathe, we could make all sorts of cool stuff.
Yep.
Wow!
Oh,
Perfect. I mean, that's it's a little tough. I haven't got shocked yet.
Oh.
oh, oh, dude.
It worked!
Oh,
Let's go!
Dude, this is 10 times the plaza it was before.
Really?
I'm not kidding. It's
Blowing right through it. It's freaking awesome.
I think you guys need to plate those in. What do you think?
Tell you that ain't gonna happen. I'll just tell you that right now.
We were back out here this morning and it's been snowing like crazy. The roads were terrible. But we're gonna keep going on getting this bed mounted to the mini truck. And kind of while we're doing that, Brady's gonna mess around with the loft.
I don't know what you mean by messing around, but I have lights that go up in here, which I can't even wait to put them up. Like, I'm dying. But I've got to sheetrock this whole thing first because I don't want it exposed, you know, with wood and grinding and stuff like that. So I'm going to sheetrock the lid, and then we're going to paint it and put the lights up, hopefully in this video. So I've got a couple of things moved out of the way so I can get the sheetrock crane to lift up the pieces and hold them in place while I screw them up there.
There's absolutely no way he's lifting these sheets of sheetrock by himself onto this crane, so I'm sure me and Alex are going to be helping him every time he needs a sheet. We figured that we'd take you guys along for the ride. We're super excited about the loft. We're super excited to have lights under here. And when that's done, we are one step closer to Brady working on his Jeep and getting that thing done.
So we drilled all the holes in the frame, got all of these bolted in, and now all we got to do is take our 3" by 3" tube, go straight up to this one, so we'll make this one, that one the same. Just kidding. I think we're going to actually angle these so it's stronger, we get more leverage. Once all those are in, we'll weld it in, this bed's mounted, and then we can start working on the boom.
We're going to use a piece of cardboard that we're cutting exactly 3 inches wide. Instead of having to try and figure out all of these angles and make them perfect, we're going to be able to just draw exactly how we want the side profile of it to be. And then we'll lay this thing on our piece of tubing, trace it out, and then we'll just cut it that way.
A lot of you guys have been asking about our little shop dog. This one's Murphy, and he is a Rhodesian Ridgeback, and he's a pain in the butt. It's my parents' dog. Brady also has a dog. His name's Fred. Those are the two dogs that protect the shop.
Well, I think this piece is gonna work like a freaking charm.
Hey, that'll make it easy.
What do you think?
I like it. Dude, that is freaking perfect.
That is sick.
Wow.
Flip yeah, dude.
The bed is finally hard mounted to this frame, and it took way longer than we thought. We thought we were just going to get right to building the boom, and little did we know we had a million things to do. But for the boom, we've got this little pin system that it's going to be able to rotate on, which is why we have this and this big old solid bar.
It's like a giant door hinge, basically.
So right about where it's at is where it's got to sit, because we've got to be able to slide this pin out if we ever want to take this boom off. So we didn't want to have it sitting too low. We don't want to have it sitting too high. That's about perfect.
In order to mount the center of this massive piece of tube for our hinge to work, we've got to build a super strong base, because this thing's going to get all sorts of side load, front and back, weird pressure on it. This thing has got to be super tough. So I made these little cardboard template things for our base, and they're going to mount to the frame. We're going to notch the whole frame out around this, and these supports will come up. There will be a piece here in the middle, and then back down. They're going to match on both sides. There's going to be two of them running parallel with each other. And that is what we're going to use to mount this thing to the chassis. We're probably going to end up like doing some more gusseting and making it stronger in a couple of other ways, but that'll give us a good flat plane to mount it with. So really, now all we have to do is turn this thing into a piece of steel. That was easy. Well, one's great, but we need 4 of them just like this. Whoa! Holy flip. Here, grab some of these, Braid. Oh, that worked out way faster than I thought it was going to be. Really, all we have to do now is just clean up this frame and make it so we can weld to it. Dude, we need to start doing that more.
I love YouTube.
Yeah, me too. If the snap thing's working that good, let's see if YouTube will weld these all up for us.
Dude, it works for welding.
It works every freaking time.
This is awesome. Even though they're not very square.
No, they're completely off. And you know what? It's getting really late, and I'm really tired. And I don't know how we only got this much done today.
All right, how about you do us one more snap into tomorrow?
Well, here's the thing. We said it was going to be tomorrow. We actually skipped 2 days. This literally straight up took us a solid day. There was a bunch of boring, grinding, and boring the holes through these with a hole saw. It was absolutely horrible. I promise you, as many of you guys think that you want to see us do that, I promise you don't. But this is what we were trying to describe what it needed to look like to have our whole boom pivot on this big, huge tube. We got the first part of the boom started. This is like the bottom of it. It's not really like... It might change a little bit. And Brady's been absolutely cranking on the bottom of the loft here. He's almost got this whole thing painted and ready to rip. What time did you get out here this morning?
About 4
a.m.?
Yeah.
Holy.
I knew we couldn't get these lights. I didn't want to put the lights up in wet paint. So
Yeah.
I didn't want them to stick there. So I want these freaking lights up, put this beam in so I can pull my Jeep back in here and freaking get this shop back.
You haven't even told the viewers what you're doing to fix our little twisty problem.
You'll see that later.
A little bit of context here too. It's Saturday, so this video comes out in less than 24 hours. That's why he was out here this morning at 4, because we want to put these lights up in this video. So we're trying to We're trying to get all of this done with no time. That's why we didn't film all of the boring crap that we had to do. But we're going to catch you up with the rest of getting this whole boom done and looking exactly how it's going to look forever.
Caleb drew this first model of what he wanted it to look like, and we've kind of been messing around with different ideas, and we all kind of want something different, so we're going to combine all 3 ideas into one sweet boom. So we actually built this last night at like midnight, kind of got our first bend. We welded our pin system in, so our big pin just slides in, and that's what the boom pivot's off of. And now, I've just got to make these to come up, kind of see what angle we want that one and that one. So we're just kind of getting the boring stuff done so we can bring you guys in for all the fun stuff.
Is this thing gonna fit?
I hope so. If it don't, we can't just run to Home Depot and get a new one.
That's true. We'd need to import something. That is true blue China truck right there.
You ready?
Yep, hit it.
Okay.
Oh! Dude!
Holy flip.
Oh my gosh!
That looks so cool.
That is clean looking.
We also kept this piece.
Oh my gosh.
Bolt it back under there when the rest of it's done. So it's gonna have a nice clean look.
Ooh.
That's cool.
So the roof of the mezzanine is exactly where I dreamed that it would be the beginning of this week. The paint's dry, it's all black, it's ready for these things to get hung up, and I've got 2 little guys to help me hold them up while I screw them in the right place. We've had these lights for months. I ordered them at the same time that we got these high beam LED lights for the ceiling, and we needed some light under the mezzanine, and these are hopefully going to like totally shine this thing up and be like way cool.
Those look so sick.
We've been super happy with the Hyperlight lights up in the ceiling. They're super bright. They've been awesome. We've had no issues with them. So I'm excited for these. These were pretty easy to put together. They all snap in. You can do whatever designs you want with them. They're turning out so sweet, and they look really high quality.
I just hope that they're bright enough for under here.
Every time you turn new lights on, it's so exciting.
1, 2.
Oh!
Oh my gosh! Holy crap! Dude! Look at how bright it is.
How does it show up on camera?
It's pretty bright.
Is it? Dude, it's way bright.
That is freaking sweet.
This record boom turned out so sick.
This thing's pretty cool looking.
I'm dying to
I'm
see it
excited
all.
to see what it looks like. Hopefully, do you think the pin will still fit?
Yeah, hopefully it didn't like tweak our mounting points and the pin still slides through.
If it don't, we've got problems.
Yeah, if that does not work,
You ain't bending that back with a pipe wrench.
no.
Oh, hold up. That's my wrist.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh, no, I don't fall through your neck.
Oh.
Their pin.
Here, I'll push the pin in. You get it right.
All right, right there.
Come on.
forward.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh.
Go, you dude. Let's go. Oh, you got it, Braid.
That's all the Peck brothers got.
Oh my gosh.
Strong. See, look.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my heck. That looks so strong.
That took you a week?
Yeah. Disclaimer, it definitely did take me and Alex a solid week to mount that boom. That was a ridiculous amount of work.
The problem was it wasn't just the boom. We had to mount the bed finally. We had to make the cage. We had to make the pin system. Then we could make the boom. The boom took a day and a half. Well, probably a day total.
One of our subscribers named Andy sent us this little mini truck. For some reason, somehow, Hot Wheels copied our idea and made a Hot Wheels that fast. But check this thing out.
Looks just like it. It does.
I'd have never thought somebody walking down the aisle in a store would see something like that and just think Peck Brothers. And I've got to send it to them. That's super cool. We love stuff like that.
We love getting sent stuff from our subscribers. So if you ever want to send us something, we do have a P.O. box. We will link it in the description. And thank you guys so much for thinking of us like that.
Next week, we are going to be at the Utah Off-Road Expo. So if you live anywhere local and you want to come meet us and say hi, come on over.
March 1st and 2nd in Sandy, Utah.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. We'll see you guys next week. Holy flip!